So, what is going on, everyone? It's Ty here today, and well, recently I just finished Shadow of the Colossus, and to say it made me start thinking is kind of an understatement. It more so not only got me thinking, but made me realize something, and that is video games today are terrible. And I say that half jokingly. Video games today obviously are not terrible. If you're watching this, you probably still play video games. I play video games. And, if we all are playing video games, clearly they must be good enough. And obviously they are. This game is. I should state that I played the remastered version and not the original PS2 version, which, by the way, blows my mind that this was a PS2 game and that this is a pretty faithful remake to said PS2 game. I went into this blind, and pretty much as blind as I could. Pretty much everything you are seeing me showing you is really all I knew about the game, and I'm going to try to leave it that way for anybody that wants to experience this, and you should really just go in blind. But knowing what I'm about to tell you is pretty much everything the game is. The game, I was thinking it was going to have an insane story, it's going to have a deep story. No, not really. I was thinking it was going to be very complicated RPG elements. I didn't really know what it was. I knew you climbed Colossi, and no, it was very straightforward. The game is super straightforward and isn't very complex at all, yet what I love about it is its reward of exploration, trial and error, and just thinking. And I feel like a lot of games that I don't end up liking do not have that, and that's what this game made me realize. Now, what do I mean by that? It's a little complex for me to put into words, and I tried. One of my it's not even one of, it is my favorite game ever. The game I think is the best game ever is Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey is, in my opinion, the best 3D Mario game. I don't think it's even competition. What Mario Odyssey does best is Mario's movements and the environment he is in. This game does the exact same thing. The movements are awesome, and the environments fit the movements. Your movements and the world around you go hand in hand, and neither one are trying to fight with each other. Well, I guess in this game, you are literally fighting your environment, but that's a little bit of a different stretch to what I'm saying. Hopefully, though, you get what I mean. And in Mario Odyssey, you can do things a million ways and try things in a million ways. You can argue that Mario Sunshine does the same thing. FLUDD lets you do a lot of movement, which is true. But I do not like Mario Sunshine, mainly because I feel like you're not with the environment, with your movement. You're always trying to fight. Like, a lot of times you end up fighting the camera, or you're fighting very restricted movement. I don't like a lot of the level design in Sunshine, and I just think FLUDD is a very awesome mechanic. But this isn't about that. This is just about me thinking games, and when they're really focused on one thing, works really well. I think, going back to what I don't like about some games that I don't like, is they're complicated, and that sounds really dumb, that I should just get smarter, but I mean, it's hard for me to get into games with a lot of menus and a lot of like deep mechanics where it just keeps going and going, and I respect people that love that, and it doesn't mean it's bad. But I just think when someone sits down, a team of people sit down, and they focus on these very specific ideas, they don't branch out, but rather just keep honing in on one idea, it works so well. In this game, all you do is climb these colossi and figure out how you get on top of them. That is pretty much it. It sounds really boring when I put it like that. It just sounds like the same thing over and over again, but it is so far from that, and I honestly wish I could explain without ruining that sense of exploration by just saying like how you take down some of these is incredible. But me telling you that would take something away, and that is not a way to experience this game. I am so glad I knew nothing, and I wish I knew less even sometimes. I wish I went in wanting to have that sense of exploration, and that is something I want to say. If you're going to play this game, keep an extremely open mind. You sometimes will not think of how these colossi are defeated, and it is pretty impressive sometimes. Some of the stuff is so cool in this game, and I'm going back. This was a PS2 game, and it is like the same game, so no matter which way you play it, you're going to get the same experience. You're going to be amazed by this game. There's just nothing like it, except there is things like it, but in terms of what the game is about, there is nothing like it. But if you're looking for something, weirdly enough, if you love Mario Odyssey, you'll probably love this game, even though they really have nothing much more other than the very specific movement and mechanic those games have, or so focused in on, that really just make the game just work so well and are so enjoyable. This game has that. You're never like angry with this game really fighting the controls. There was one that got me frustrated, but you know, that's just kind of the way it goes. But it's never like you're fighting the game. It's always just about figuring stuff out. It's never... It's hard to really put in words. And I just think when I look back at this, I think people need to play it and just let it sink in how simple this game is, yet how deep it is. And I think really realize just how special something like this is. This game showed me how special games can be.